Hello and welcome to Rematch. My name is Naiditsch, I'm a chess grandmaster, and we continue with our daily educational streams. Let's go with the next rapid game. So, how it goes? I will be playing rapid games. We will be seeing a lot of different types of positions, tactics, positional ideas, endgames, openings. I will be explaining all of that move by move. So, welcome. Let's go. Our first game, e4, and let's go with the move e5. Knight on f3, knight on c6. Solid opening, bishop on b5. Let's go with the move a6. So we have the main Spanish, and now we have exchange Spanish opening here. Bishop takes c6. First today to say hello is Isaac. Welcome, Isaac, on this Sunday morning. Buenos dias to A13 Joe from Guatemala. Wow, we have Guatemala here. Excellent. How is life in Guatemala? So we have the move knight on c3. More common is the short castle, but knight on f3, knight on c3 is alright. Usually we continue here with the move f6, so let's play this move f6 while waiting for the move d4 to be played, and then we're gonna take. So all of this, of course, is still theory. Heidi BM, Cert Heidi, welcome. Heidi's almost always with us and made a great fan video that you can watch in the video section of our channel. How are you, Heidi? Duda or Magnus? What should I say to that? I think the favorite is quite obvious. So we have the move d3. This is unusual play because d4 is the main. Now we should set up our pieces correctly. We can go for the long castle idea. It's actually not so bad in the current positions. Or we continue with a short castle idea, which is also good. Let's go with something interesting. So maybe let's try the long castle idea. We're developing first the bishop to g4, and later we might be trying queen e7. So first we go away, and then this, because in case we go queen on d7, there is this knight takes e5 in between move. So g4 being played, very dangerous. Now the bishop is safe here, and g4. It will not allow white to castle short side. So we can think about castling long side for white. Knight on h4. Where is the knight going? This is the question here. I'm not sure where the knight is going, so let me proceed with the move h5, because we are going to play the long castle. There is quite safe position here for black, so everything is fine. Weather is good in Guatemala, is amazing here in Guatemala. Best regards. I'm learning a lot from you. Thank you very much for the kind words, and I can imagine Guatemala should be a fantastic place. Santosh also here with us. Santosh, how are you doing on Sunday? So we have Cinderer. Thank you very much. All is good here in the UAE. Next, let's go to the game here. So we have the move knight f5 being played. I have the move g6, for example, so I can see where the knight is going next. We can also take first on g4, and I like it because why not? We are breaking the pawn structure here of white. There is knight takes g7 coming next, but we can avoid it by playing the move g6. Everything is just so safe here for black. We have now the bishop pair. As you know, bishop pair can be very powerful in case we get to some endgame where we have space for our bishops. So we are proceeding, I think, next with the move queen on d7, because we are planning to do the long castle, and endgames are usually the right thing. Having the bishop pair on the board, it's not a must. We have obviously many ways to play here, but I like the move queen on d7. Very calm, very relaxed, bishop pair, long-term game. No rush. Santosh is saying Sunday is also working day. Actually, for a chess player, there are no Sundays. When you are a professional chess player, Now I'm not anymore professional chess player, but all my life I have been, and there are no Sundays. Most of the games are actually on the weekends because you're playing all the leagues and it's always a weekend. So I have almost never had a free weekend. So for me, some understanding that I have 5 working days and then a couple of days I'm resting, this does not exist. Every day is a working day, so this is very, very normal for a chess player. No weekends. Alright, what do we have now on the board? We have the long castle played by our opponent. So I think he's going to take very, very soon here on d7. We can play the move knight e7 with the idea of f5. Can we play the move f5 immediately somehow tactically to make it work? Not sure, and I think there is no need in that. We have this bishop e6, but the queen is taking on g6. And I don't see a way to catch the queen. What does it mean for us? For us, it means we can play first c5, not to allow d4, but on the other hand, d4 is not so dangerous, so maybe let's just develop the bishop to d6. Safe place, bishop on d6. Now in case of d4, we have the option of taking knight on g3 to damage the structure in case we would like. In case not, we just keep on playing this kind of structure. Next move is knight on e7. Let's get first the pieces into the game. And then let's see what is going to happen next. I see a comment by Cinder. Sunday is working, that set. I don't think so. You see it in a different way. In case you are not working for anyone, you choose your time, so you do as much as you want. I don't have a boss, so every day you basically do as you wish, but in case you would like to be successful, so obviously the normal working day is not working. So in many jobs, in case you're average, you're getting your salary, that's alright. But in jobs where you have to reach a high result, this kind of normal working day is just not working out. This is not possible, so you have to do more than average. This is the only way to get to a high result, so it's just different. This is not sad at all. This is just different. And personally, I like this kind of structure because this kind of average life, I think it was never for me. In any case, let's play something because otherwise we will be going very low on time. We have different options. He's getting ready for this f4 push. Is it dangerous? No, it is not, but we have to think how we eventually get the better plays. And knight can go to h6, but somehow not so well positioned. We can try to play the move g5. This is not so bad, but we have to think, is it the right approach? Because there will be d4 coming next. We can play the move c5, but then there is this move f4. But still, we are doing well in the current position, to my understanding. So, what should we finally play here? I think maybe let's get the knight into the game first. So let's play the move knight on e7. For sure, it is useful. Next, I think we're gonna see some exchange of queens, most probably. Yes, we do. So this is as we expected, and now we have the bishop pair. So long game where we try to make use out of our bishop pair. We can take here, play g5 to play against the weakness on h3. This is possible. Maybe we can try first to play bishop here, take. Also looks a little bit better for black, but I like this move, bishop on e6. Maybe again matter of taste. It's not a must, but long term, we try to play with our bishop pair. And we will try to push against the pawn on h3. So this is the idea here for black. Let's see how we are going to fulfill our dreams of getting the h4 pawn. So we can go, for example, here like that, but there is this rook g1. This I don't like so much. We can put the pawn on c5, not to allow d4. He's going to take. We're gonna take back. Knight goes to c6. It is better for black, but the question is it enough to win the game? So this is like the main worry here. We have to get this rook somehow to h7. This would be great, but how to do that? This is the question, how can I bring the rook to h7? Not easy, not easy to bring the rook, so maybe I will be playing the move c5 here. I don't like it so much. Maybe actually to play b5 is making sense first. So first of all, we are making this kind of king b7 just in case. Next, we might be able to play the move b4, which could be unpleasant because the knights will have not so many squares. Let's see first what is going to be the next move of our opponent long term. We try to get the rook to h7. This would be a dream. We are trying to push here with b5 and c5 to take with the bishop or to take with the pawn. I think let's take with the pawn because I don't like to give the squares to white. Very positional game here, step by step. Next, bishop on g5. I don't know if this is very useful actually, because where does the bishop go? Maybe it's time to push a little bit, c5, so we are advancing here, step by step. So yes, let's see. 1:43 a.m. Very late, very late. So we have the move b3. Let me play a couple of moves because I have little time on the clock, so I have to play a little bit quicker. Otherwise, we might be facing this time issues. I think, is it time, or maybe just knight on c6 first? Okay, knight c6 first. Looks good. Idea. Rook h7, bishop e7. In case we get that, we're gonna win the pawn on h4 most probably. King on b2. He's playing quite a good game, we have to admit. Next, I think it's time to put the knight on d4. Then maybe we have this king d7, king on c6. This will bring us clearly better play. So I guess he will be maybe taking, I don't know. So let's make a pre-move, because I have just little time on the clock, so I have to play quicker. Position of black is better, but it's not a very big advantage. So we are slowly pushing. But now I think we have the move b4. Is it not just a blunder? I think he blunders a piece. So we are capable of playing the move b4. And the knight on c3 is under attack. The knight cannot go away. We win the knight on e2. And of course, if white is taking on d4, we're gonna take on c3 in between move. And that's it. So we are lucky that our opponent is missing this idea b4. But still, we played this kind of slow game where I think black slightly better. Not much, but step by step. Yes, little time on the clock. By the way, funny time here. 2-2-2. I didn't do that on purpose, obviously. It just happened. So b4. And yes, we are going to be a piece up. There's a question, why not f5 in the previous position? I don't know exactly where f5. We had a couple of chances to play the move f5. This is true, but I didn't like for some reason to play the move f5 somewhere. But of course, f5 was a possible solution. We see in the chat, I play chess life is back. Welcome. Very often with us, I play chess life. We have L also here with us. GM Aura makes an amateur blunder. Well, Heidi is writing, you still need to give him a checkmate because he can hold on for 2 minutes. Let's see if he can, Heidi. That's true, 2 minutes is not that much time, so that's true. I Play Chess Life is saying, hi coach, what are some ways to work on tactics? There is one way, which is, I think, the best way and the most simple way. You are taking a tactic book, you set up position on the board, and you solve it. Why do we set up the position on the board? What is the idea of that? So let's take first the knight on c3. Let me play a couple of moves, and then I'm going to explain you the concept, what is behind it. So the pawn on g6 is under attack. We have to defend the pawn. How can we do that? What is the simplest way? Let me win the game, because not to win it would be a disaster. So I will explain it. I play chess just in a little while, because it's very difficult to play and to say something that makes sense. So just after the game, we will be discussing what is the best way to learn to advance in tactics. It's, I think, a very, very important topic, obviously. So first, let's try to win the game. We are being here very, very safe. Next stage is to change as many pieces as we can, because we are a piece up. This we can do by playing the move c6 somewhere. And then we have this bishop e7 and get to the bishop there. On g5 we have knight on e2, knight on f4 ideas, which is quite good. And we have this rook h7 idea. I like it because we get the rook immediately to f7. So we are very, very safe here. And we should be able, I think, to change a couple of pieces next. But we have to be cautious here. We have to be very, very cautious. Actually, maybe I played a bad move. Is it a very bad move? c3. Where to go with a knight? I think a bit more active would be not a bad idea here, but let's try to get the knight on f4 next. By the way, I think he had before the move rook f2, because I missed it. I thought I can play rook f7, knight f6, and then just here, but it would not work. So now let's get the move knight f4, because there is d3 hanging, so everything is under control. He takes, yes, I saw that. This is not so dangerous. I thought I can just take here. I think I can. Let's double check, because it's not so dangerous. In case he takes, this is easily winning because we have the pawns. But here, bishop e5, and we catch the knight on e8. I could not explain it before playing because I have no time. So, of course, I would mention it in case I would have a little bit more time on the clock, but we had literally no time, so I had to play these moves faster. Quite beautiful. The bishop on e5 is isolating the knight on e8. And next we will be taking the knight, or just playing this kind of positional g5, g4, because the knight has no squares to go, so it's not gonna work for white to keep the knight on the board for much longer. I think we can just get the knight, maybe most simple solution. Let's double check. Okay, let's get the knight. The knight is falling, and with the knight, of course, the position of white is getting devastated, so all I need to do is to be a little bit quick here, and that's it. Let's hope that I am fast enough to win in the current game. So let's take it to be very, very safe. The pawn f4 is protected. But next we take the pawn on d3. Next we can change the rooks to be very, very safe, and then just promote the f-pawn. So let's go with this move just to be super safe. Rook h7 or rook on h2. Oh, I missed again in one move. What is going on with me today? Missing everything just in one move. I mean, this is just amazing. How can I miss everything in one move? Okay. Still not awake. I am still not awake. So sometimes we have to get warm. We have to get warm. Still, it is a winning position, but yeah, to miss in one move, of course, was not the best ever. So c4, we're blocking the king. King has no squares to go. So next, we're gonna collect the pawn on c3. We have to get a little bit warm. King on a3, no moves. Maybe he's hoping for a stalemate. Next, we will be taking the pawn here. So we took the pawn on c3. And let's maybe get the bishop out. Beautiful bishop here on e5. Let's attack the rook. Let's give him first a little check to see where the king is actually going. Next check and c3. Next one is this one. Check. Then check on d2 and c2. Next is rook d1 and then queen. So we give a check and we queen. He has to take. We will be taking back. We are cutting the white king and we collect the material. So king goes for the e pawn. Rook is gonna stab the b pawn. Very safe. And somehow we are winning the first game, but not a great game. Too many one move mistakes by me, but okay, we have to get warm. We have to get warm first, and then we will be getting better. So back to the I play chess question. What is the best way to study tactics? And this is an excellent question because this is just so important. So the best way to study tactics is you take a tactic book. So you need first of all positions, and step number 2 is you're setting up these positions on a real board. So where is the difference between doing tactics online and doing tactics on a physical board? Online you're watching the screen, so this is 2-dimensional, it is 2D. On the board it is 3-dimensional, so your brain is working differently. It is very, very differently. That's why 3-dimensional, this is a real game atmosphere, so it is much better. 3-dimensional is natural, 2-dimensional is not very natural. So you set up the position on the board, you solve it, you go up to the next. And this is the most efficient way to do tactics. Like this is practicing everyone. So if you take GMs, they do exactly the same. This is puzzles, yeah, puzzles, tactics. Okay, it's more or less the same because there are different sorts of puzzles that you can have. You can have puzzles that are, let's say, mate in 2, mate in 3. There are many different puzzles. So the next kind of puzzle could be, let's say you have something like, what is the best positional idea? What is an endgame maneuver? So these are also puzzles or tactics. I think we mean the same thing, just a different word for it. And this is the way. This is usually the way you are getting better, step by step. But to make a progress in chess, it takes time. So don't expect to become very, very quickly very, very good. This is not working in chess. This is a problem that it takes time. It takes time to become better. Chess is a very, very complicated game, so there is nothing you can do about it. Everything takes time. Alright, I hope that I explained more or less how it works. In case you have some questions, of course, ask your questions in the chat. Sometimes I'm able to read the chat, sometimes not, because it's very difficult to play and to read the chat, because then I'm completely not focused on the game and then I'm blundering something because I just look to a different side. So let's go. What we do next is maybe something like knight f6. So the d4 pawn is under attack. And this is normal to play knight f6. It looks a little bit weird, but it's not bad. We have quite a typical Sicilian position. It might be slightly better for white, but this is not much better, so it's like minimal plus for white here. Very, very usual, normal play for both. Let's see how the game is going to develop. I Play Chess Life is asking, should we practice on full-size board or smaller also works? I think it depends how old you are. Now, let's say I just started to wear my glasses 1 year ago approximately, so depends on your age, I guess. Personally, I like so much to have a normal size board because it feels so well. It feels like, yes, this is a real chess atmosphere. We have a nice board. Yeah, feels very good. Bean is asking, is there a good way to study endgame if my opponents often abandon before the endgame unless they have me absolutely wrecked? I sometimes lose endgame. I'm winning due to lack of endgame practice. Okay, it's also a good question from Bean, how to study endgames. Endgames are more difficult to study because in endgame you have the theoretical approach and you have the practical approach, which are very different approaches. So there are many books that are focusing on theoretical approach. So for example, there is a rook endgame and you have to play 15 moves very precisely to get better. This is, for example, something that no GM can do. We are all making mistakes. So a very good example are the books of Dvoretsky. These are good books, but some of them are so tough. I mean, I'm wondering what kind of level should have someone to be able to study this kind of books. So these are theoretical books. In theory, he is correct. In practice, no. This is important thing about chess. We have to be, in my opinion, more practical. And to be more practical in endgames, there are also many books for that. So you have to little bit sort positions that are important for a real practical game. It means, what do we see very often on the board? We have rook endgame, let's say 3-3, and we have the pass pawn. So very important positions. You have to know what to do there. We have very important pawn endgames, yes, where you need to know the motives. So the selection of endgames must be done well, because otherwise you will lose so much time on practicing endgames, which are just useless for a practical game. You never see them on the board. These endgames are sometimes just so hard. They're even way too hard for a GM to master. So how is it possible to play perfect in such a complex position? It is not. So this kind of endgames, you have to sort them well. The best way, of course, to practice endgame is with someone that is better than you. So you find someone who might be a better chess player than you, and you try step by step to get to his understanding. This would be, of course, an excellent way to study endgames. Let's see first what we should do next, because I'm thinking here so much. We have this typical isolated pawn position on d4. Slowly we should be able to attack the pawn on d4, but we have to think how to get the bishop out from c8. So if we get out the bishop in a good way, this position is going to be better for black. So how to do that? This is the question. Should we just go back with a knight with the idea b5, bishop b7, quite typical and also not a bad play at all. We can also take the knight, isolated pawn's position, we change as much as we can. This idea remains, but then we make the pawns a little bit better, so I'm not 100% sure about that. Let me go knight f6. Simple solution. We are attacking the pawn on d4. Next, we have the move b5, bishop b7. In case we get the bishop to b7, this is going to be a much better position for black. And with much better, I mean, let's say computer says it's equal, but from the practical point of view, it is much better. We push against d4, isolated pawn. There is no obvious counterplay for white. And this makes the game very difficult for white, because if you have no direct play, the question is always, what should I do? And this kind of question is very normal for every level. It is the same on, let's say, very high level. In case you have no direct play, it makes the position so hard to play for anyone. So you always must be careful in positions where you are strategically slightly worse. Computer might give you equal, and then you say, well, why do I lose this type of positions? And the answer is they are just very difficult to be played over the board. So try always to think, is it a practical way of playing what I'm doing, or maybe I have to switch a little bit to get different types of positions. And this is a very hard thing to do, because again, many of you are probably using the engine because there's nothing else left. And then how to decide? Engine shows equal, but many equal positions are not equal. This is a problem. They're equal for the engine, but for us humans, they are not equal at all. So you have to distinguish between practical position and the theoretical position. And in case you can make this difference, I think you will see that you will be improving your game very, very quickly, because you will be getting positions that you like and avoiding positions that you don't. Bishop on f4, very good play, because in case of bishop d7, there is still the move d5. So he likes to go with the move d5 next. This bishop f4 is very, very good play by our opponent. Of course, we can go bishop d7. This position would be just equal. But it's pity to be equal here with black, so I should find a way maybe to fight for a little bit better position. In case of b5, we have this queen f3, I go rook a7. It looks for the moment pretty safe, so maybe I should continue with the move b5. I'm a little bit worried that somewhere there is a sacrifice, but I think maybe not, so let's go with the move b5. If I manage to get the bishop to b7, it's a dream. So white has sort of one move time to try to avoid this bishop on b7. Let me read the chat. Oof, it's a lot in the chat, I cannot read that much. So, in case you have some question that you want me to see, it's better to mark your question, because it's also difficult. Otherwise, HDBM is saying the first tournament I went to on the board, I wasn't used to 3D. I kept standing to look at the board from above. Yeah, this can happen. This can happen. Hadi, yeah. Queen f3, as we expected, the rook is under attack. We wanted to get the rook over a7 to d7 and play the move bishop b7. So we put this pressure on the pawn on d4. Next couple of moves are very, very crucial, because in case there is no attack, we will be doing extremely well. Our opponent is giving up on the d4 pawn, but I cannot take it because of bishop on e3. So what can we do here? Usual solution, rook on d7, I think is looking pretty well. Is there some kind of sacrifice immediately? I don't think so. Let's get the rook into the game. Beautiful position for the black rook. Bishop e5, not so dangerous, because there is no more threat of this. Bishop takes h6, and this is the key. Next, we will try to get out finally the bishop to b7, which is also very, very important. So we are fulfilling our development. Next couple of moves, white has to find a way to attack my king. If my opponent is not able to do that, black will be doing much better. So next couple of moves will be all or nothing for white here. White has to attack the king. Is it possible to do something evil to our structure? Bishop e5, there are no more threats, so we get the bishop out on b7. Beautiful position for the bishop. And you might be asking, how can we get rid of the bishop on e5? And we have a simple solution. We play the move bishop d6. It is simple and good solution. We keep the idea of b4 for the future. There is queen on h3. I don't see any kind of threats, so let's proceed with our main strategy, I guess, to play the move bishop on d6. Next, we would like to take here on e5. I understand that sometimes it might make the structure better. So white is going to improve on the structure, but we will be dominating here with a beautiful knight on d5. But there is some kind of queen on d3 idea with a checkmate on h7. So we don't need to take immediately. We can wait a little bit with taking. We can wait with the move knight on d5 first, but knight is getting to e4. This is not what I like. We can play b4 first. This looks very interesting, but the knight is getting over a4 to c5. Maybe let's get first our pieces into the game. So we're playing the move rook e8. It's very useful to have the rook here, because we have also this kind of escape route in case we need it. So step by step, very positional game. We are aiming to play b4 or bishop takes e5 in the right moment, so we have to choose very wisely. When do we play the move bishop e5? Now he's forcing me to play the move b4, so of course I am going to play the move b4. a4 is a little bit too slow in my opinion, because now we will be able to take the bishop on e5, and this is looking like a great position for black. So should we take immediately on e5? Then we have this knight e4 move. We can also go knight e4 instantly, which is not looking bad. What should we do here? Should we also go knight on d5? Because why not to put the knight to this beautiful square on d5? That the knight from e2 can only go to f4 or g3. So I think we should play the move knight on d5. Knight on e4 looks also very, very good, but knight on d5 is too tempting not to play. What a beautiful knight now on d5. Since the knight is on e2, we can put the knight on d5. In case queen goes here, we have, for example, f5 already to close everything. Yes, there is sometimes this bishop a2 somewhere with a pressure on e6, but it's alright. Also, after queen on d3, we can play the move g6. Then we have this bishop f8 covering the pawn on h6, or queen on g5 is also good. So slowly, we are getting to a position which we wanted, that white is gonna have no direct attack. Maybe let's go with the move g6, as we said. Also f5 is perfectly okay, because g6, bishop queen g5 or bishop f8 is available next. So we could have gone f5, but g6 is also fine. Slowly, we are trying to get to some kind of pressure here for free for black. So should we go queen on g5? There is a move f4. Is it good or bad? Little bit dangerous. So we can, for example, take first, then to play the move queen on g5. This looks like a better position for black. There is queen g3, of course, but we are doing so well with a knight on d5, so we will be doing a little bit better. But maybe we can just go with the move bishop f8, so this is also slightly better. I think bishop f8 maybe is looking good here. No rush. We still have the idea of queen on g5. We have somewhere the idea f6. By the way, he's missing the move f6, but he's lucky with the move bishop takes g6. So we cannot play the move f6 immediately. How do we change the pieces here? We should be able to change the pieces, or is it working? But not sure if this is actually the best. So let's go with the move bishop on g7. Very slow play, I do understand that, but it is a slow position, so we have this kind of slow play here. Actually, maybe I played a bad move, but let's see. Let's see if I did a bad move here. Okay, it's not a bad move, but it's not the best. But alright, we are just being safe, step by step, trying to reach. Very aggressive here, very aggressive. Let's go with this queen on g5. Maybe h5 next. But it's strange that nothing is falling here for white. It looks so dangerous a position. I think we are able, by the way, to take on e5. This is working, yeah, because there is knight on f4 next. And it looks like there is no defense. At least I don't see a defense. So very slow game. Very slow game, but step by step. Heidi BM is saying, I often lose when there's an attack and all the pieces are aimed at... Yes, to defend is much more hard than to attack. In case you're defending, you have to be very cautious. And yes, to defend is not easy. So, pawn takes. The question is why not to play now the move knight on f4. I think we can, and it's going to be game over because the bishop here is attacking the rook. Now we are winning the exchange, and obviously Also here after bishop e4 we have little tactics. I'm usually pushing the F button once we have a tactic, so boom. You can calculate for yourself. I give you 10 seconds, 20 seconds to write your answers down in the chat. Black to play, and black is winning here. We have a simple solution to win the game. I give you time because he has literally no time, so we are alright here. Black is playing, black is winning with a move bishop takes e4. Knight takes, and we have this queen take e4 with a checkmate on the 1e1. Okay, let's go for a rematch. I think it was a move by move, quite a nice game all in all. He tried to execute this attack. I tried to defend, having this positional advantage of him having the isolated pawn. And finally, my strategy won the game, but it was a hard fight. g6, quite unusual way, by the way, to play the Spanish. The main line here, it goes with the move d4. And this is slightly better for white because d4 take, and then there is this move c3 coming next. Slightly better for white. I'm going to show you a different idea to play these positions. So let's go with a different idea. I'm playing knight c3. I know it is not the main, just that you see there is a different way of playing these positions, and h4. Why do we wait for bishop g7 and then we'll play the move h4? Because bishop on g7, of course, is protecting the pawn. This is good. But now for black to play h5, probably we will see the move h5. We will be going immediately with the knight on g5 with the idea bishop c4. And it looks super weird because it looks like we are playing bishop d5, then we go back bishop c4, but the idea of knight g5 is just so dangerous. So this is a funny way to play. It's not a bad way to play this current position. So we have the move h5 as we expected, and we can go knight g5 immediately, or we can go bishop c4. I don't know what is a better way to start with. Maybe let's go bishop c4. So we start with the move bishop c4. We are going back. Yes, I understand. We are losing a lot of time. But the bishop on g7 is not perfect. So the bishop is now watching into the pawn. We have this kind of pawn sacrifices somewhere. We have knight on g5 somewhere. So quite an interesting way to counter this kind of structure. e4, e5, g6, bishop g7. In case black is able to defend here, of course black will be doing very, very well, but it's way trickier than it looks. So let's play this position and let's see what happens. d6 makes sense. Our opponent is playing a good game, so as promised we have the move knight on g5. We will be forcing the guy probably to put the knight on h6. And not a perfect position for black knight, but it's alright, of course. The game has just begun. Let's get the bishop into the game here. Play d3. And we have this kind of, I don't know, normal position, I would say. Very, very normal play. There are ideas for both white and black. So everything is very, very normal. Let me read the chat till I have a little bit of time here. HDBM is saying, I heard the saying sacrifice against French player and he will lose. I don't know, Hadi, if this is working. If this is working, not sure at all. So, if Caro-Kann is easy to play, depends. Caro-Kann is quite a dangerous opening because you get this e5 line, which is very, very forced. And yeah, and knight goes to a5. Good move by our opponent. We have here a little trick here by playing bishop on d5, c6, then to take on f7 and then to play b4. This kind of trick is existing in a lot of different positions, but I don't know if it leads to a better position for white, by the way, but it leads to funny positions. Or we just do nothing here. We let the guy take on c4 because our knight is good. He will need to play the move f6, and also here we have, I don't know how to estimate these positions. Let's go for the funny move bishop d5, which is very typical. We can expect c6 next. And we will be taking on f7, and then we will be playing the move b4. So let's double check if everything is alright. Yes, it seems so. So we are taking on f7 because we have the idea of b4. Usually, I don't know if we should take. This would be normal to take here, but on the other hand, we might not take there. Alright, let's take. Let's take, and we play the move b4. So we changed our bishop against the knight on a5. The knight has no squares to go, so we will be taking the knight next. Obviously, the bishop might go to g5. Not a bad place for the white bishop. We have the beta structure, and very curiously, we will be castling short side, because we have this f4 idea somewhere. If these positions are better for white, I am not sure. I think these positions are very playable for both white and black. Maybe we can aim for some small advantage, but it's not sure, because again, white and black, they have their own pluses and minuses. Bishop on g4, I think f3 is possible. Or do I blunder something? I don't think so. Let's go with the move f3. So he provokes the move f3. It makes sense, but it doesn't make a big difference, because anyway I will be castling and playing the move f4. Next, the knight is under attack, but I think we can win at tempo here by playing first bishop on g5, or it's not really winning at tempo. Maybe I should go bishop on d2, by the way. I don't know if I should put the bishop to g5. So should we or should we not put the bishop to g5? Because I can go with the move bishop on d2. So we are getting ready to take the knight. Or I'm gonna play bishop g5, queen b6. I'm gonna play the move queen on d2 with the idea short castle. Next, there is some kind of d5 idea for black. So maybe I will be playing here something very tricky, but we have the move knight c4 coming next. These positions are also very complicated. I don't know who is doing better. Is it white or black? But probably it is not black. This is a good thing. I don't think I'm risking much, but I'm not 100% sure that actually I'm doing better. So this is an issue. What to do here? What to do? Bishop d2, knight gets to c4. To play this sort of position is possible, yeah, I can play it. I don't know, should I go for this, let the guy to play knight on c4, or not let this knight on c4 happen? This is the question, very hard to estimate, because positions are so complex, ideas everywhere and for both. Maybe I will be starting with the move for rook on b1. I like to have the rook on b1, very, very useful for a lot of different types of positions. So this move, the knight can only run away to c4, but it's alright. So this is not like extremely dangerous for me, and the rook on b1 will be pretty beautifully placed. There is this kind of bishop f6 somewhere. I'm gonna go g3. Should I let this happen? This bishop on f6. Does it make a difference? This is a question. Again, very difficult to judge. Very, very difficult to judge. It is on one hand yes, on the other hand it's a no. So maybe let's go with the move bishop g5, yeah. Okay, I have to play something. Bishop f6 I didn't like so much because I don't have bishop g5 any longer after that. So let's go first with the move bishop g5. I have a little idea. Next move, okay, will be queen b6 obviously. And now we're gonna play the move rook on b1. So there is no more knight on c4. I think it looks pretty well. It looks like a nice idea. Let me know in the chat, what do you think about it? To play bishop g5, rook b1 first, what would you do here? Because it's a very positional decision. And obviously I'm not sure that I'm taking the right path, but maybe it is making sense from the logical perspective to play first bishop on g5, winning this tempo, and to play next the move rook on b1, or queen on d2 in case of queen on c7, or yeah, queen on d2 I think should be the next move. So quite tricky, as you see. This is a position in which you definitely should not rush your play, so you have to consider Which move would you like to play next? This is, I think, a great example that to play fast in this position you might miss something and then you regret it just so much because you think, well, I had a chance eventually to be better, but I missed it. So time, when you're playing a rapid game, classical game, you have to spend very wisely the time you have on the clock. You have to spend it in the right moment. In case you play too fast in the opening, you get bad position. To think a lot might not save the game. In case you think too much about every move, you might get into time trouble. So you have to find this kind of medium solution that fits you the best. Surprising move, bishop on f6. Very, very surprising, because I think to change the bishop is not a bad thing for white, since we're having this idea of the castle. But I think first we can even take here, then play queen on d2, short castle, very dangerous position for black, but we also have this queen on d2 first, I think, because the knight is still not running away. So queen on d2, we're putting more pressure against the knight. Let's see first where the king is gonna go. Probably he will be moving back with the king, and then we might take the knight. Finally we take the knight, then very quickly with a short castle, idea is a 4 or d4, so we're gonna push. Or we're gonna play now the move knight on e2. It makes sense, but it would be a bit too much. The knight gets to c4. Might be still better for white, but I am not 100% sure. If there's something else we can do here, it is a move rook on b1. Also very interesting, because there might be something like rook b8 or b5 next. Do we need it? Maybe not. So the time has come to capture the knight on a5, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but this is what I think. I guess he is going to take back, because what else? And now we do the short castle as we planned. Short castle and idea f4 or d4. So the combo, knight and queen, so dangerous in the attack. Next idea for white should be to try to get attacking chances here. And we might be doing better. Let me read the chat for a second. Nice to see your ideas. Yes, some ideas are making definitely sense. Let's see. What else do we have here? And yes, that's nice that some of you are proposing your ideas, because I think it is the best way to learn. You have to be active. So you should not treat my game like a cinema. You should treat it like a chance for yourself to compare the ideas, in case we get this kind of cinema feeling that we're laying down, enjoying on the sofa. You're not getting like the full experience. You only get the full experience in case you try to think for yourself. What would I do here? Why is this move good or bad? Because I'm trying to explain all the moves that are being made, so then it's a good way, in my opinion, to get to the next level as a chess player. So now rook f8, good play, very normal, trying to stop the move f4. We have the move d4. Is it worth trying to play the move d4 immediately? I don't think so. I think we should be a little bit patient here. Maybe d4 is actually not bad, but where do we go next? We have here this pin. Not so pleasant. It would be great to get rid of the pin. Maybe let's play first the move rook on f2. So this is very useful. So first of all, we are protecting the queen on d2 just in case. Secondary, we would like to play rook f1, and our main idea of f4 could be played next. A rook on f2, multifunctional move. Let's see what happens next. Our idea f4 somewhere, because queen and knight is powerful in the attack. So in case we get a chance to develop attack, we should be doing better. In best case, we should get rid somehow of this unpleasant pin, because otherwise it might be not so easy to develop the attack. We have ideas like playing, for example, g3, followed by the move king on g2 next, which is also good idea, preparation for the move f4. f4 is the main idea for white here. I think the position is approximately equal, but in theory, I think it's to play this position for white maybe a little bit easier because we have this kind of tricky chances here. Just imagine we get this g3 f4 and then it's gonna be a mess on the board. King not very safe. Once the knight gets into the game, it's gonna be not easy for black to play the position. So rook f7, good play, good play. Our opponent is playing a very, very good game. I like the way he plays. Next, as we said, we would like to play the move g3 and king on g2, so we're a little bit advancing. Yes, f3 pawn theoretically could be weak, but I think this is fine. We will be able to defend the pawn on f3. We have always a solution of playing rook on f1, and we're aiming somewhere to play the move f4. Is it time to play the move f4? I think a bit too early. I think it is too early. Let's play first the move king on g2. So we are very, very safe here. Next might be rook f1. Let's prepare first. And let's get the move f4 once we are ready. Step by step, step by step. In case you like my explanations, obviously, like and subscribe to VChess, to our educational chess content chess channel, where it is a channel, I think, here on VChess for people with a bit more thoughts than average, because here we try to be objective, we try to discuss things, having arguments and not just screaming out any kind of random nonsense, what is happening on most of the channels. Actually quite sad to see that, but yeah, this is what is going on. So here on VChess we try to understand things, to be a little bit more straightforward. So d5, is it a good play or is it a bad play by our opponent? Because d4, he might be closing, but we have this knight on b1 idea. The structure e5 might be weak somewhere, but we have to play a good move. By the feeling, I should take here. So let me take, because I feel like I should just take. Let's take. Let's take. I don't know if my feeling is correct. Let's see, let's see. And now my feeling tells me to play queen on e1. Is it correct? I don't know. Because this move d4 is not dangerous. We get the knight on e4. That's alright. Maybe I should play rook e1. Let's go with rook e1. Very direct. We're aiming towards the pawn on e5. So I think there is nothing else than d5 now that can be played. Do I have queen g5 tactics? No, I don't. So we will be playing the endgame, but e5 pawn might be not too safe. So I think our opponent got a bit impatient with the move d5. Maybe he saw no way to do something, so he pushed the move d5, and yeah, now he is suffering with a pawn on e5. So let's see, let's see. So please write only in English. For Martin, I see this is Spanish, but we are not doing Spanish. Please use only English, like that it would be fair to everyone. Let's see, queen on c7 and defending the pawn on e5. How can we get to the pawn? We can play this d4, then there is the move e4 coming next. We have to be very, very cautious here to have the better play. e4 is dangerous, so we should avoid the move e4. Maybe just first to defend, and then we will be doing eventually better. Let's defend first. So there is no e4. We would like to play the move d4 next. c2 pawn is protected, so we go with the move d4. I think this is what we wanted, to play that move d4 in the right moment. Is there a way to play this position for black? I think difficult. It's getting difficult for black because slowly, bishop on g4. Wow, can I take, or should I take? Knight takes here. He takes in between on e2. This was his idea, not bad, but I think I'm able to take first. On f7. Now we play the move rook on f2. And I don't see a way to continue here for black, so bishop h3, the last trick. I think we have simple king on g1, everything is protected, and white is winning the game. Because we have the winning endgame here. Our opponent is pre-moving, but this is not gonna save the day. So, slowly, I think we had again a big battle. But slowly, we managed to outplay our opponent in the way that he got impatient. And this is so important, so crucial in chess. In case you are having more or less an equal game, the patience is the key, because sometimes the first guy who pushes forward is the guy that is making the mistake. So you have to be very patient. In case you have a tough game, be patient, wait for your chance. Don't move something because you just don't see what to do. Very important. Be very patient in case the game is still on its way. One of the key things you have, in case you look at the games of the top GMs, they are so patient. You see very often there are maybe 20 moves in a row where not much is going on, and you might say, well, why is it so? Because the GMs are just so patient. So patient. Alright, so we have the French exchange, not the most funny opening ever. We will go with the move c5 just to make the game a little bit more fun. I can also play the move bishop d6, short castle, this kind of positions. Objectively speaking, very close to equal, but yeah, this is of course also playable. Let's go with the move c4 against the c3 of white. This is again very common way of playing these positions. Nothing new here. Everything as usual, I would say. Our opponent is taking his time before the next move. A bit unusual because queen on e2. Yeah, there is a line queen on e2 because queen e7 and gets to an endgame. So let's go with the move bishop e6. I know it is not the best move ever, but let's play the move bishop e6, not to play the endgame because this is a very boring endgame. I see in the chat there is a request to analyze the game, and as I always say, we're, I think, discussing the game enough during the game is going on, so there is no reason to analyze the game as an engine. First of all, I don't like this engine analysis. Secondary, I think it would be just a loss of a time, because to do this analysis and you see engine says this and this and this was better. Okay, congrats. I am not an engine. I don't play with an engine, and it doesn't make me a better chess player to read an engine line. So I think this is just pure waste of time. This is what we have very often, and players are saying, I just missed this, I just did wrong this by checking the engine, but why don't you see that during the board? So this is a key question, and the answer to that is you are not an engine. So the engine play is just way too strong. You cannot fight an engine. Engines are too good, and engines are seeing things nobody except an engine sees. So it is not helping you very much to become a better chess player by using engine day to day. As you can see, most of the people are not getting to the next level, and they're analyzing all the time with engines, so there must be something wrong about the strategy. So think about always the strategy in chess. Think about why is this good and why is this bad? Why is this working and something else is not? So there must be a reason for that. In case you're studying chess and you are not getting better, you might ask yourself, like, what's the reason for that? I should become better normally, but I'm not. So what am I doing wrong? This would be at least a question that I would ask myself. Maybe I should change my strategy. Alright, let's go back to the game. I think we have here this bishop on g4, because then we have rook e8 as an intermediate move. We are winning a tempo. to win a tempo usually is never bad. So let's go with the move bishop on g4. I don't know if this is a must, but there is knight a5 coming, so bishop on g4. Let's go. So we have the pin here. In case of h3, we will be playing first the move for rook e8, because yes, I see there's bishop takes f6, but we're gonna take. He will be taking. We're gonna take here on f3. There is some kind of bishop on d1, rook e8. Maybe first it's better just to remove the bishop to h5 or play rook e8, takes gf, which is also very interesting because the queen has to go back. We play the move bishop h5, also very, very interesting. We're winning a lot of time by that, so I don't know what I'm going to play next, if it is going to be the move for rook e8 or the move bishop h5 in case the guy plays h3. Let's think, and yeah, let's maybe rethink our strategy once we see the move. So, what do we have here in the chat? Let me read. So, let me read if we have some questions here in the chat. I don't see many questions for the moment. In case you have some chess questions or questions about strategy, about something, just ask them please in the chat. We have so many good people here in the chat that they might be able to answer your question in case I don't see it. Of course, if I see, I will be answering, but sometimes I just don't see a question because I'm playing or explaining something, so just ask. If I see, I will answer. If not, somebody else is going to answer. We have a very, very good community here, and I'm happy about that. Obviously, that slowly we are building an excellent community that is thinking critically, not just screaming something in the air without any argument, any idea, any research, just to say something unpleasant, that we see in a lot of channels and a lot of cases. We have the move rook on e1. Maybe he's aiming to get this queen f1 next. We have queen c7 attacking the pawn. We are forcing the move h3. Then we can play rook e8 and go back. Very playable, I think. Very, very playable, but maybe we can aim for something more than just a playable position, because it feels like black should be doing well here. Maybe something like queen b6 is even possible. Try to get the pawn in case we provoke the b3, then we'll have this double attack idea, so also very interesting. I think I'm gonna play this move because just curious. I'm very curious what is gonna be the next move of white. We are attacking the pawn. We would like to play the move rook e8. We can play the move h6 next in case we need to. So we are like water. Chinese would be very, very happy because they have the concept that we have to be like water. So we have to be smart. We have to be smart and keep as many options as we can to choose wisely the next one. We have the move b3 being played. So why is my idea with the move queen c7 not working? It might be working. We have to think, because there might be this move queen on d3. On the other hand, I can play first the move rook e8. I think to play rook e8 cannot be a bad play, no? To get the rook on e8, can this be a bad move? I don't think so. So let's get the rook on e8 first. Let's see what is going to be the next move by our opponent, and again we're going to decide accordingly what we are going to play next. I like to play also the move h6 somewhere, because it feels like, yeah, we should put the pawn on h6, but now the pawn on c4 is hanging. That's why maybe first I should take here. There will be probably the move ab being played next, because to take the pawn back makes perfect sense. And we're gonna play the move h6 first to see where the bishop is going. Still, the position is quite unclear here. It's a big fight. We're having a big fight. It's a very interesting fight, interesting position. Let's go with the move h6. I know I could have taken and played the move knight e4. I saw that, but I was not 100% sure if it is the right way to play the current position. So let's go h6 first. And then we're gonna decide how to attack the pawn on c3. I thought queen c7 is making sense, because in case of c4 we always have this bishop on b4 idea. I think he will be playing something like the move queen on d3, but then we have the idea of bishop h5 and bishop on g6. As you can see, both sides are having their advantages and disadvantages. Position is very complex here, many options for both sides, and I think this is what we like so much about the chess game, that we have so many different options to play in every sort of position. I think it makes the game just so nice. In case of queen c7, we have to be careful here with rook e8. The pawn on a7 might be hanging, but also this, I'm not 100% sure this is good or bad, because we're gonna win the pawn on c3. So I think it's pretty decent, by the way, for black in my opinion. So maybe let's go with the move queen c7. Let's see how white is going to defend the pawn on c3. It is not easy. It is not easy. Let me read a little bit. What do we have in the chat? Grand Miner is asking how to punish bet opening. E4, d6, d4, c6, c4, knight f6, knight c3, knight d7, knight f3, h6. Wow, what is h6? Yeah, h6 move is obviously not so good. Great Miner, there's an easy strategy. In case you see someone doing something strange, your reaction should be central. Just play central moves and it's gonna be giving you advantage. Don't try to win immediately, because to win immediately this is difficult, but to get advantage you need to play central. Just do central moves and you will be doing better, 100%. So in case you see something weird, play central. Very easy strategy, very efficient strategy. Now we have this bishop h5 or g6, like the next play by black. I don't know what is better. Bishop h5 looks fine because we get the bishop to g6, but also g6 looks fine because we have the bishop f5. Maybe let's go with the move g6. King g7 could be next. Slowly we are trying to get a little bit better play here. So what else do we have in the chat? So Party Boy is saying he's studying with computer. That's alright. Grand Miner is saying I'm on the engine most of the time analyzing games, but I gained 300 elo just by copying you. Thank you very much, Grand Miner, for the nice words, for the words of support. Thank you very much. That's great to hear. There's a question also in the chat. Could you recommend a chess book everyone should read at least once to improve the game? Now we have, for example, in case you're from the mobile phone watching the stream, we have the book Journey to the Chess Kingdom. This is one of the best books in the history of chess. It is also the most sold book ever in the history of chess. Very fundamental, but it is more serious read. So in case you're a serious guy, you feel that yes, I am ready for a serious read, I can recommend you this Journey to the Chess Kingdom. You can download this immediately in PDF. So very good book. I have read it myself like many others. This is sort of fundamental book in case you ask, let's say, someone who has to do something with chess and you tell him, have you read Journey to the Chess Kingdom? The guy is most probably going to answer yes, of course. So one of the most fundamental books. Have a look. In case you're liking the book, you can just download the book in PDF. This is my advice. Bishop f5, as we said. Let's go with that move, bishop f5. Maybe next we might be playing the move knight e4 because the queen has to go to c3. Obviously there is nothing else, no other squares to go. Now we have the move knight e4. So, very good that we have queen on c7, bishop on d6, aiming towards h2 pawn. There is another question in the chat. How long does it take to know notation? And it depends. It depends how frequently you're using the notation. This is the thing. In case you use it frequently, I think it might just take you a week and it comes automatically. So you can learn it very, very fast. But in case you're not using frequently the notation, I think it's quite similar to language. What is the best way to learn a new language? You have to speak it a lot, yeah? And the same with notation. So, usually it goes very quick, but depends how often you are using it. Then we have a question here. I see, why not bishop on b4? Yes, I also thought about the move bishop on b4, but I was just not so sure because it gives a little bit of time to wait. So yes, I saw it, but I said I was not 100% sure if it is the best reaction, and I saw that after bishop f5, queen c3 is forced, then we go knight e4 and take a look at that. It looks like white is gonna lose now some material. That's why I was thinking both is possible, bishop b4 and bishop f5, but sometimes we just have to take a decision, and I took decision for the more forced continuation. Bishop f5 followed by the move knight e4, so it's like not just bishop f5, but the following is of course crucial. Now I think we should be able to win the pawn on h2, so we will be taking the pawn, obviously. This is why we had this idea of queen b6, queen c7 long time ago. We've been aiming for the h2 pawn. Now finally we are taking the pawn. So it is like the conclusion of the idea that we had long time ago. Next, the bishop on h4 is not very beautiful. In case I go queen f4, there is g3, queen takes, rook f1. My bishop on h2 is going to fall. Not the best in my opinion. How can we defend the pawn on e4? We can do that by playing the move g5. This looks not bad. Still, it would be great to get this queen on f4, f3. Take rook f1. Let's double check if we have some tactics there. Feels good for black, but I don't see a winning tactic. Maybe I just don't see it, and there is something, but I just don't see it. So, in case I don't see a winning tactic, I think I should not play the winning tactic, because for me it is not looking winning. That's why I think we should go with the move g5. It looks like the right play. Let's continue. g5, we are attacking the bishop, so bishop g3 is sort of forced. We will be taking on g3, and I hope that we will be doing a little bit better with the black pieces. Let's see, of course, again, not easy everything, but we might be doing better. Step by step, step by step. Let me read the chat if we have some questions there. Do you attack frequently? Again, there is an answer to this. Be like water when you are playing chess. Don't make a strategy that you depend on. You have to be attacking when you have a chance for it. You have to defend when you have a chance for it. So, you have to adjust during the game. Adjust your play. Don't think like there's just one strategy and I'm following this strategy and that's it. This is not the way to play a chess game. You have to adjust. Now, there's this kind of GH. He will be taking the pawn on e4. This is not what we want, or this is still winning because we take there. I think it's alright. So let's take the bishop on h4. Next, I would like to play the knight f6. The knight is getting to g4. We are doing very well. Our opponent is as well. Not having too much time to decide what is next. Black is pawn up, so I think our strategy is getting rewarded now for being patient and for executing this queen b6, queen c7. Bishop on d1. Idea is to prevent the move knight on g4, but is it not already too late for white to be okay here? Let's see. We should get our pieces into the game. So how can we do that? There is rook on g1 eventually coming next. That's why I think I'm gonna take, so I'm not afraid that the g file will be opened. Now the g file is closed forever, which is useful. And next we have a couple of tactical ideas here. For example, to play the move knight on d5. Is it good way or bad way? I'm not so sure. So maybe let's choose the more safe way. What could it be? How to win the current position, by the way. We should be winning somehow. Maybe king h8. Let's get the rook on g8 next. Why didn't play king h7? Ridiculous, yeah. This was ridiculous that I didn't play immediately king h7. Sometimes I'm playing something so bad and I'm thinking, why did I do that? So yeah, now it's not so easy. So let's go back, because there is a trick in case he takes. I have queen on d6. King h8, of course, just horrible. Nothing to say. Still, black is doing better, but what a move, king h8. Still, we are winning the current game because our opponent played a little bit too slow. Now the rook on g8 is taking excellent position, and we should be winning here very, very soon, because it's difficult to hold everything for white. Let's play this move, just positional. Let's go here. And we take the queen. That's it, because he left just a couple of seconds on the clock for himself. It is just way too little time to survive. Okay, let's offer a rematch. I think he offered also, or he disappeared. I didn't see that. No, yeah, rematch. And after this game, I will be playing against one of you. So we have the daily game against VChess subscribers, VChess family. We have the Philidor in the current game. Let's see how the Philidor is going to develop. Knight on f6, the normal Philidor, d4, and he's going to take most probably. Now we have knight takes or queen takes. Both is possible. I played already both moves on the stream, so let's go maybe with the move queen takes d4. Let me read. What do we have in the chat? So, let me read. What do we have? So, knight on c6 and bishop on b5. This is a way to play the Philidor with a queen on d4. I'm aiming for the long castle. Let's go. Take on c6 is the next move. Now we can put the bishop to g5 or the bishop to f4. Both is possible. What should we do here? Because we can do both. So I will be putting the bishop on g5. Let's go. A little bit more aggressive. Bishop on g5. Next long castle. We will be pushing against the position of black here. Idea is usually to play the move e5 in the right moment. Is it now the right moment for the move e5? Not sure, but I think he should have gone h6 first. So it might be actually a good moment now for playing the move e5. Is it? Or do I miss something super simple sometimes? I am just missing easy answers. Let's double check. Let's not be lazy. So, e5. What is there to be done by black? I don't know. Let's go with the move e5. I don't think I'm missing something very, very simple. So, that e5 move should be all right. In case you like my comments, please like and subscribe to VChess. Join our great chess community. We are here to become better chess players, to discuss interesting topics, to use our brain a little bit more than on most of the channels. So, in case you're enjoying that, join us. We have take on e5. Good decision by our opponent. So, we're gonna take, of course. Then let's see. Hi DBM, by the way, you've been saying you have an idea who I should play next. So, who do you suggest? Suggest the next opponent here from the VChess family. Bishop on d6, also good play by our opponent. He's playing excellent game currently. I saw that I have this queen on f5, but now I see that there's queen on d7. e5 was too early. I played too early the move f5. Now we are... I mean, we are of course okay here, but we are not better with the white pieces. Where should I put the queen? Feels like there's no good square for the queen. Extremely weird. Maybe I should go like queen d4. Let's go back because we're aiming to take on f6. Position is still not so easy, but I think black should be doing fine. Black should be doing fine in the current position, so e5 was a bit too early. We should have done rook e1 first. h6. Also, this is a good play by our opponent. I think he's playing a great game currently because in case we take, queen is gonna take, so we have this kind of endgame. And this endgame, pair of knights versus pair of bishops. I believe it should be more or less equal because we have the better structure, but the bishops, of course, is so powerful. So I'm thinking now, maybe it's more safe to play the move bishop on f4 to avoid this endgame. Or maybe I should try the endgame and maybe we will be somehow doing a little better in that endgame, but hard to say. It feels like just an equal endgame by the feeling. On the other hand, in case I go bishop f4, black is just gonna take, and then I don't know, some simple move like queen e7. Also, this is not better for white, so let's go for the endgame. We will see a very interesting endgame here. Bishop pair versus knight pair. So we have the good knight on d4 play. We should try to get one of the bishops. So in case I get one of the bishops, I think white will be doing better. So we should occupy the center. We can do it by knight on d4, attacking the bishop. There is no bishop g2 because rook g1. So bishop on d7. Next move is knight on e4, attacking the bishop, attacking the pawn on f6. Bishop e7 is sort of forced. Then we go knight on g3 and get the knight on f5. Ooh, this is nice. This is looking very nice. If this is working, then white will be doing better. I think it does work, so let's go. Knight on d4. Also, it feels like the right decision. To put the knight on d4 cannot be a bad play, I guess. We are attacking the bishop. Next, we have knight on e4 or knight on d5, knight on e3, knight on f5. In case we get the knight on f5, we might be doing a little bit better. So, HeidiBM, what is your suggestion? HeidiBM is saying, yesterday I choose, today it's Bean or Solomon Call. They were active in the stream, more active than me today. Oh, HeidiBM is sometimes very shy. This we know about Heidi. Alright, I will be making the choice then who we are going to play next. So, we have knight on d5, attacking the pawn. What is their way to defend the pawn? I don't know. So let's go with the move knight on d5. Very powerful knights now. Our opponent is playing so quick. Is it good or bad to be that fast? It's good in case you know what you're doing. So let's see if there's a way for black now to defend. Knight on e3 versus bishop f4. Probably this is the idea of our opponent, but we have also rook on d3, like very interesting. Because not so easy here. I think rook on d3 looks pretty good. We are aiming for knight on e3, or we're aiming for f4. Because f6 pawn might be falling. It's a huge battle, this two knights versus two bishops. I don't know. Let's see what happens. We have knight on e3 idea to get to f5. Or maybe first g3, not to allow bishop f4, but I don't know. We can allow bishop f4. So unclear. Okay. Let's see. Bean is saying, what about Dawson? Alright, Bean. Let's go with Dawson next. Let's ask first, Dawson, in case you are here, let's play the next rapid game. Dawson, in case you're here, please write your account name, because otherwise I cannot find you. So please write your account name, and maybe we can play the next game. Rook on the 8. Is it good or is it bad? Let's see if we can get this knight on e3. I think we can. I like the move knight on e3. Maybe I should go with the move f4, more aggressive, because I don't know how to defend the pawn on f6, but somehow I don't know. I go knight e3, just safety first, because bishop pair is just so powerful. I should keep the things as tight as I can. And usually in case I keep the things tight, I should be doing a little bit better. So let's see what do we have in the chat. Solomon is making a joke. London opening is very boring. We had already a couple of games on London opening, but London opening is not the most funny opening ever, so I don't like to play every time the London opening. Anyway, we have a lot of games on that. So bishop on f4. Now I think we have a beautiful move here, by the way, and it is first to play rook on d1. Is it winning? No, it is not, because there is rook e8. I thought rook d1 might be so good, but no. Okay, let's just proceed with a solid play, because we cannot win the game instantly. Maybe bishop knight e2, but no. Okay, let's go g3. Let's go g3. Let's play this easy move, because we are getting now the bishop. So we will have the knight versus bishop d7, but we have the better structure, which might give the white some very, very small advantage. Overall, what can we say? This knights versus bishop situation, I think black didn't manage to keep the bishop here. So we played very actively, instantly, and the black didn't find a way to keep the bishop pair on the board. Now the bishop has to be given. And obviously this is not a dream case for black. So I will still keep the little bit better structure. And we have knight versus bishop, which is more or less equal strong, because the knight has this knight on e2, knight f4 next. You will see the knight will get to this beautiful f4 square. So we might be doing slightly better here with the white pieces. I'm a little bit confused that our opponent is thinking, because in my opinion there is just one answer here. It is to take. Before he played a good game, and why is he taking his time to take? Because I don't think there is something else. Maybe he has a call. Or no, he has no call. He is just going back. Wow, this is not a good decision in my opinion. We have here immediately the check on f5, for example, or we play first rook on d1. This is not looking like a good play for black. So risky, so unnecessary in my opinion. Maybe let's go even with the move rook on d1. Look at this, already trouble here on the d file. Black should have taken on e3. It would be slightly worse, but not more than that. So no reason to worry too much. And currently black is now in serious trouble because of the pressure on the d file. So this was too much. Bishop e5, not the right way. Just take. Slightly worse for black, but not much. I mean, the game just begins in this endgame, so yeah. So let's see. Dawson wrote something in the chat or not? I don't see Dawson in the chat. So no Dawson in the chat. Wow. All right. HDBM is saying, what do you suggest to play against the triangle queen pawn structure that you are playing, that you played against me? Hadi, don't put the bishop on b7 versus pawn d4. So, Hadi, you cannot do that. This is not a great stuff. I mean, look at the bishop on b2. How this can be the right thing to do? This is impossible. So, you have to rethink what you're doing in the beginning. Because, do just anything you like, but the idea of putting d4, e3, b3, and bishop or b4, bishop b2, this is not the best. You have the bad bishop, so don't go for these positions in general. You can play it sometimes, yes, as a surprise, as a something else, but to play it all the time, this is just not a solution, Hadi. You have to change. You have to change that. Don't be afraid of changing. Sometimes people are afraid of changes. I think this is the wrong strategy. Don't be afraid. Try new things and you will see. You will be doing on average way better. So, like people say in the philosophy, you have to take the problem by the roots. And the roots of the problem of Heidi is that Heidi is playing the same opening with the bishop on b2 versus the pawn on d4. This is not the best. Okay. So Dawson is not here, so we have to get to the next. Next on my list, I had Bean, and after Bean, I had Extreme 6-9. So Bean, in case you like to play a chess game, you are the next on my list. We are going to play a chess game. Bean, please write something in the chat in case you are here with us. We will be playing the next game. Please remind me on your account name. And yes, we're gonna play. You have Bean is here. Sure, I will get ready. Excellent, Bean is here with us. So, let's go back to the current game. We have the move bishop on d6 played. The bishop might go to c5, but I think we're gonna eat away a lot of material. So let me play the move knight on f5, I guess. Attacking the bishop on d6. So we have this bishop c5 idea. Yes, of course, I see the pawn on f2 is going to fall, but we will be taking as well many pawns from our opponent. You see that the knight on f5 is maybe even a better piece than the bishop because of the structure. In case black would have options like playing g6, yes, the knight would be not so good. But now we have the great knight on f5. Ooh, rook on d8. Is it a good choice to go for this kind of endgame? I don't know if this is good what our opponent is doing. So we can just, I think, take on d8. I think we can also sacrifice on d6, but I don't like this so much. So let's take first. I understand there is king on g6 coming, but we have this one, g4. Maybe knight takes d6 also looks winning. This pawn and game, I think, should be winning for white by the feeling, but pawn and games is like you never know. You never know in a pawn and game how it's gonna end. So what should we do? What should we do here? Let's go with the move c4 first, because I think c5 is quite dangerous. Maybe I should have gone for the pawn and game, but just it's so difficult to see. I have a little time on the clock, and I cannot estimate the endgame so quickly. So I hope that we will be playing step by step, and maybe we will get some winning chances. So let's see. The thing is that in case of king here, I thought I have rook on d5 like the answer, so I'm not afraid of that. I hope I am correct. Let's play rook on d5. There is no bishop f4 because we're taking, and we have the check on e7, so this has been my idea. That's why king on g6. It's a good idea by black, but it is not a dangerous idea. We have way better knight than the bishop. It's a long game, but this is what my plan is, that slowly, I hope to have a winning position here. Let's see. The game is still not simple. I think black will play at some moment something like rook e8, giving up on the pawn. But giving up the pawn is giving up a pawn, so not sure. As well, maybe we should not take the pawn because we have such a beautiful knight on f5. What a beauty! What a beauty on f5. Let's see. No c6, no bishop f4 because we take, rook takes here, and we have the knight e7 check with a fork, and we take with a knight there on d5, so this is not possible. Rook e8, he's giving up on the pawn. Alright, so now we're gonna have this kind of rook and game with a pawn up. This rook and game, I believe, should be close to winning because we are defending all our pawns first. Rook on e4, we will be defending everything. Then next the king will be joining, and it should be winning position. King on g4, dangerous, not dangerous, not sure, but just in case, I would like to play the move h3. So I don't like to give him a chance to walk with his king too far. King on c2, there is no king e4 because of check on e2. Next we should get our king active, maybe even by playing the move king d3. Alright, let's go the move king on d3. I just want to prevent counterplay here, and we will be advancing with the pawns next. So, step-by-step strategy. Okay, we're gonna take the pawn, obviously. The double pawns are fine now because we're gonna advance here. So, he is playing a good game, good ideas by our opponent, but it will be not enough to make a draw. So, now, what is the easiest way to win it? I think we go now for all the pawns of black by playing rook on d7 and just simple king on d2, because is there a way to defend the pawns now for black? I don't think there is. I go here. Next we will be collecting the pawn on b7, and the next move we will be collecting the pawn on a7. That's it. That's it. We are defending everything, and we are taking the pawn on a7 with a winning position. Okay, step by step, pair of knights managed to win the game against pair of bishops because the bishop had no ideal positions. We have Bean now. Bean, let's go. What is your nickname, Bean? I have missed it, maybe in the chat. Let me see. The next game is going to be against one of the most active VChess community members, and it is Bean. We have already in the chat Grand Nabito. Yes, of course, I remember Bean was a Grand Nabito. Please give warm words for Bean, one of the biggest VChess community supporters. I want to see in the chat rolling. Go, 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 Bean. Very good, very good. Yes, Bean, the game. Start the game. Let's go, Bean. I found you. We have the move e4 played by Bean, and we will be playing the Caro-Kann defense against Bean. So, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Which line of the Caro-Kann defense will be chosen by Bean? Let's see, the next move is going to decide, are we playing the line with the move d4 or the line with the move knight f3, e5. This is a rare continuation by Bean, but that's a possible move, not a bad move at all. So now with black, usually we should try to fight for the center and to get out with our bishop to f5. The bishop is going to take a nice position on f5, so let's go. Let's go bishop f5 followed by the move e6. Typical development for the Caro-Kann play. Why this position is making sense for black? Because we have the knight on c3. So in theory, in case white plays the move d4, there is no c3 as a support. So d4, we play the usual e6 line. So we have this knight on c3, Caro-Kann advanced. Very interesting line. Everything is possible in this line. It's quite aggressive line, by the way, because white has options like g4 now. Very aggressive line, very interesting line. Knight on f3, also pretty normal. In most of the cases, we develop now the knights. Maybe a little bit strangely looking, but we get one knight to d7 and the other knight is getting to e7. Looks weird, but it's not bad at all. Bishop on g5, also decent play by Bean. I have the option of f6, or I will play knight on e7, so we play this positional game. White bishop g5 is usually not being played because next will be h6. And then the question is, do you give your bishop for the knight on e7? This is something usually that you don't want to do. And to go away with the bishop, knight e7 is anyway quite useful. So bishop g5, a little bit too early. Queen on d2. The idea is long castle. Very aggressive play by Bean. But it's not a bad play. So again, for those of you who are already longer with us on the channel, you remember the games that we played with Bean before, maybe. Bean improved very much. His play got much better. So we have the move bishop on h4. I can think about playing the move g5, or maybe, because I know that most probably Bean is aiming for this long castle, so maybe it's time for me also get a little bit more active by playing the move queen on a5. So let me read the comments in the chat. Solomon is asking, what do you think about third c5? I mean, you mean for black c5? Yeah. c5 is not a bad line. You have also a lot of good players playing the line with c5. It's a dangerous line, but it's not a bad line for black. So c5 can be played. There's nothing wrong with the c5 line. So let's see what is going to happen next in the current position. We would like to play the move knight on g6 eventually, attacking the bishop on h4, and then the bishop b4 idea. Then we have the move c5, which is very typical for Karo Khan. We have Bean with the move bishop e2, so Bean is changing the idea from the long castle to probably a short castle. Makes sense. And with black we have to decide to go with the idea c5 or to go with the idea g5. Both is very interesting, so maybe let's go with the idea g5. I like this a little bit more aggressive approach. The idea is to get knight on g6 next. We are freeing the bishop, and then we will be looking if we're gonna do short castle or eventually the long castle. Long castle usually too dangerous, but still somewhere. This might be an opportunity. Bean is considering to sacrifice, but it looks too dangerous. To give a piece for 2 pawns in most of the cases is not the best. So in case you have a choice in the middle of the game to sacrifice piece for a couple of pawns, only do that in case you see something very directly. So in case no direct play, better not to give a piece for the 2 pawns. Bean is considering it. Let's see if he's going to give us the piece or simply will go away to g3. I would personally just play the move bishop g3. Feels safe, feels normal, everything is pretty okay. We are continuing a very normal game. So yes, this would be normal for me. So I play chess. Been asking how I chose the account name for chess.com, Captain James. Ooh, this is very long time ago, very long time ago, because first I played like Captain James on ICC. So chess.com back then been not that popular. It was ICC, #1 internet chess club. This was the very early stage of the internet. So the ICC server was #1, and we played over there. And I had the same Captain James. Then I kept it. I think Captain James is just someone I don't even remember. Probably I read some book and there was Captain James and I liked it. Sounds cool in my opinion. Captain James, so I kept it. This is the story of the account. Let's go back to the current game. Bean sacrificed a piece, and this is what I've been mentioning. Don't usually try to sacrifice a piece, because in case there is no mating attack, piece is stronger than even 3 pawns in the middle game, because once we have the piece we can attack something and take it away. So don't sacrifice. HadiBM is saying, have you deleted your account on Lichess? I have our account VChess on Lichess. I think Arkady Naiditsch is probably also there. Maybe I deleted my account because it was not allowed by Lichess to have 2 different accounts. And maybe I deleted my account on Lichess. I don't remember. I will be going with the move knight on g6 next, attacking the bishop on h4 and bishop e7 and bishop h6. Could be the play by black next. Bean is in trouble, and why he's in trouble? Because he made the wrong strategy. He gave a piece for just 2 pawns. Don't do that in the middle game. So in the middle game, keep the pieces. In an endgame, sometimes, yes, it might be possible, but in the middle game, usually a piece is better than a couple of pawns. So even sometimes 4 pawns is not enough. In case you have no direct attack, keep the piece. Don't sacrifice the piece for the pawns. And here, after the move bishop g3, we have a very beautiful win here for black. And it is to play the... I let you think. So we have our typical F push situation. So once you see this, boom. On the board, there is a way to win something for black. I give you 30 seconds, try to find the win here with the black pieces. We have immediate, direct win here. So think for yourself and yeah, try to find it. Let's see how sharp you are in tactics. Let me read the chat. What do we have in the chat? There's a question, how do you silence the panic when playing GMs or really good players for the first time? In my opinion, focus on the moves. You should not care who do you play. So you play yourself. When I was playing my games at professional tournaments, I didn't care about who I play. So you must have this kind of psychological preparation or attitude, whatever you call it, that you should not care against who you play. You play just against yourself. You're sitting on the board, you try to play the best move you can. And you do it again and again and again and again. Yeah, like we say here on VChess, one smart move at a time. This is the best you can do. There is no better way of achieving the best possible result. So you should just not care about who is your opponent, only care what should be the next move. All focus on the moves, not on something else. You have to focus your thoughts. The concentration is the key. So we play the move bishop h6, very good. To those of you who found the move bishop on h6, small tactic, but a very nice tactic. So yeah. All right. Bishop on h6. We are attacking the queen. Queen has only one square to be moved away. So it is queen on h5. And next we will be seeing bishop on d2 check. We are having here the h file, so we'll be winning the queen on h5. It will be a winning position now for black. And all of this is happening because Bean has sacrificed a piece. He made a wrong strategic approach. Because in case you know that you should not give pieces for the pawns, then automatically, obviously, you just move your piece back. And yeah, the game continues. So maybe something that Bean is not going to repeat this kind of mistake again. So Bean is getting a little bit better. Step by step. In chess, time is required to get to the next level. This is just the way it goes. In case you rush the things in chess, it is not working. Chess is so complicated. Yeah, even you see that the best chess players in the world are making mistakes. So there is no one that plays a perfect game. That's why chess is just so complex. So all we can do is just to make a little step in the right direction, and step by step, it becomes over long distance, over long period of time, something very good. Bean is giving up his queen for the bishop. It would be better first to play queen h5 to give at least the queen for the rook and bishop. So just to give the queen for the bishop, it's not enough. Take as much material as you can, obviously. And Bean decided to take just a bishop. He could have gone for more material. That would lead at least to a little bit more play. Now we have just a queen up, so this is too big of an advantage that we can let the game go. b5. We are starting our attack. queen up. It means we have more material. Now we can also take the bishop on f4. Bean panicked a little bit, but what to do? So, let me read. There's another question in the chat. How to get better in case you're 2000 FIDE in a strategic way. So, to get better in strategy, you have to study. It's not tactic. Tactic is easy. Just solve puzzles and you will be getting better. To get better in strategy, much harder. So for that, you have to study. It means you have to study the best games of the world top chess players, because I think it's great. This is also what everyone is doing, even the best chess players in the world. You look at, let's say, a recent game from a candidates tournament and you try to understand why something is happening. So it means you're not turning engine and you say, oh, the guy blundered here, oh, the guy blundered there, good move, bad move, good move, bad move. No, this will not help you at all. What you're doing is that you're looking at this game from a top chess player tournament, let's say candidates. You set up a board and you move the games of the top chess players. So you make a move, you try to understand. You make a move, you try to understand, and like this, you will be getting very quickly to the next level, because you try to understand it for yourself, why something is happening. And in case in some positions you might be not able to understand something, you can always use the engine later. So, but don't look at the positions always with an engine. It doesn't make you a better player. So try to understand first for yourself. And in case you say, yes, this position, I don't know, you have Giri playing this and this and this. So you say, that's an interesting plan. Maybe I can execute this plan the next time in my own games. So this is a way to get better step by step. Yes, it is taking time. But to get to the next level, in case you are already 2000 ELO player, is not easy. So you have to put some effort. Queen takes a2. We are going to checkmate Bean very soon. Please give warm support for Bean. Bean is getting to the next level. He is playing better and better. Of course, there are still some mistakes by Bean, but this is normal. I think what is the key here? Bean is getting slowly to the next level. Excellent. This is nice to see that Bean is developing himself as a chess player. That's why we have the streams here. So we are improving. We have some nice conversations and we have a nice chat. We have very good people as well in the chat. So excellent. This is great to see. Bean, I think, will be back now to the chat, because Bean is very fair. He's always turning off the sound, so he's not listening to my comments during the game. I hope, Bean, you enjoyed the current game. There are a couple of mistakes that I already mentioned prior, but very quickly we will go. Okay, here everything is fine. Now you're changing the plan to short castle, which also can be played. But after the move g5, Bean, please don't give your piece against pawns. This you cannot do in the middle game. This you can do in an end game, but don't give pieces for the pawns in the middle game. Now the position is obviously very difficult already. And after bishop on h6, you see that your queen is under attack. So try to give your queen for as many pieces as possible. So go here. I will give you a check. And at least you're gonna take the rook. So in case you lose material, try to lose in a best way. I don't know how to call it. Sometimes there are no good moves in a bad position. Yes, I fully understand it, but still try to fight. It means, yes, I'm doing bad, but I'm fighting. It's like sometimes bad things do happen. Your flight got cancelled. So in case your flight is getting cancelled, try to find the next flight to take. Yes, it is bad, you're losing time, you're losing money, everything, your plans are changing, but still, try to find the best way to continue. And the same thing goes for chess. Don't panic in case you're missing something. Yes, you are doing worse. What to do? We have missed something, very normal. Opponent plays a better game, very normal. But we are fighting, so we're choosing in a bad situation the best possible outcome. And maybe we can recover the game. eventually. Who knows? So, this is the way it goes usually. In a chess game, you have to be smart. Again, we try to become smart here on the channel, smart thinking. We have to use our brain to become better in a very efficient way. We have to be critically thinking, not making same mistake again and again, and this is what happens to most of the people. That's why they don't get better, because they do the same mistake again and again and again and again. This is why critical thinking, no feelings, something we do good, something we do bad, in case of the things we do bad, have to be improved. And yeah, then we go to the next one. That's the way to improve, I think, everywhere in life, but as well in chess. Step by step. In any case, Bin, you are getting slowly to the next level. This is nice to see. Still some improvements to be made, which is normal. Alright, that's it from today's stream. Like and subscribe to VChess. In case you're enjoying my comments, I will be back tonight with the next stream. The usual time, approximately around, I would say 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. evening time. Sometimes for me it's difficult to call the exact time, because obviously I have many other things to do, and streaming is not a paid job. If you think you get something per click, no, you get nothing. So I'm just trying to build a great chess community, and later we can do great things. So thank you very much for staying with us. Thank you all who are active here, who are participating, who try to get better. And yeah, see you at the evening, as we say at VChess, one smart move at a time. See you later. Bye.